So for these last problems on the notes, we're going to see if we can find any outliers first, and so we need to know what the rules for finding outliers are. And Q3 minus Q1 is equal to the IQR, which stands for inner quartile range. And so I'm going to do Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR, and any numbers below this number would be considered outliers, and Q3 plus 1.25, anything above this one would also be a outlier. So you have outliers on the low end and outliers on the high end. So let's take a look. So please put all of the times to get ready for school into L1, and if you want to do for part B, you can put down the guesses for my age into L2. And you can pause the video, and then when you're done, I'll show you how to find Q1 and Q3 on the calculator. Okay, once all your numbers are in, I want you to hit the Stat button, and then I want you to move over to the Calculate menu, so you hit the right arrow button. And we are going to use OneVar Stats, which is number 1 at the top. And you hit Enter and put in L1, and you can leave frequency list blank, or if you don't have a menu, just go ahead and hit Enter, and you should see a bunch of numbers, and I want you to hit the down arrow button 5 times. And hopefully you got these numbers. And so I'm going to put in the min is equal to 6, Q1 is equal to 20, the median is equal to 30, Q3 is equal to 45, and the max is equal to 80. So I'm going to find the IQR, which is 45 minus 20, which is 25. So to find the outliers on the low end, I'm going to do Q1, which was 20, minus 1.5 times 25. Which gives me an answer of negative 17.5. And it's pretty obvious that there is no number lower than negative 17.5. Now we're going to see the outlier. So 45 plus 1.5 times 25 equals 82.5. Since the highest number we had on our list was 80, that means that it didn't take anyone more than 82.5 minutes, which means that there is no outliers in this problem at all. Let's try it again with Mr. Freeloop's age. So I have Mr. Freeloop's age is in L2. Once again, I'm going to do stat calc, one variable stat, and this time I'm using L2. And here are the numbers I get. Remember to hit the down arrow button 5 times. So once again, we have a min of 25, Q1 equals 35, the median is equal to 40, Q3 is equal to 46, and the max was equal to 72. Which means that the IQR is equal to 46 minus 35, which is 11. So to see if there's any on the low end, I'm going to do 35 minus 1.5 times 11, and that gives me 18.5. And no one this year guessed my age to be less than 18.5. And then for the upper one, I'm going to do 46 plus 1.5 times 11, which is 62.5, which means that there is an outlier at 72. Are there any other ages above 62.5? Go back and look at your list. And the answer is no, so we only had one outlier. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a box plot. So for the time that he gets ready to school, so I'm going to label my axis time to get ready. And so here's 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. That's a 0 over there. And so the median was 30, Q1 was 20, and Q3 was 45. So there's my box. There's Q1, there's the median, there's Q3. My max was over here at 80, and my minimum was 6. And so there's my box plot. You put the median in the middle, Q1, Q3 makes the box, go to the minimum, go to the maximum. For part B, we're a little bit different. So let's see, I'll start this off at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And so my Q1 is still at 35. My median is at 40. My Q3 is at 46. Tell this is Mr. F's age. And I'm going to go down to 25. Now, because this maximum is an outlier, I'm going to put an X at 72. So now go back through your data and find the number that's the highest number that's not an outlier. And that number was 56. So this is what my box plot looks like. It's called the modified box plot. Here's my outlier. Here's my highest number that's not an outlier. And that's how you make a box plot. If you have any questions, feel free to email me.